All right, everyone. Welcome to today's Focus with Crystal. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we had Adiyb Muhammad today, and we're going to be talking about AI. IA? What is that, Crystal? What is that, Crystal? AI and ChatGPT. I'm so excited because Adiyb had the class that is, let me show you guys. Put you on. I'm gonna put you on real quick. Put you on. So Adiyb has a class that takes place twice a week, right?
Yep, on Thursday and Friday.
Twice a week on Thursday and Friday. Did it
At
show?
6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna get all my people off over here. Y'all ain't a part of this. Y'all gotta get y'all off. These are many people I be talking to in a day. Too many. But I love y'all. But so so we wanna talk about your classes, what you have to offer, how people can get involved in your classes, what are your classes all about. I don't know what that is. And yeah, all right, there we go.
I hear a lot of clicking. I don't know what's going on, but
I don't know what's going on. There we go. All right, so tell us about AI, clarity, and how to monetize with ChatGPT.
All right. In a nutshell, I guess everybody, if they're paying any attention to anything at all as it relates to business and even schools and all of the many offers that you see throughout your Facebook, throughout your Facebook, your streaming platforms, and just in the news, period. There's a lot of talk about applications of AI in various, which is artificial intelligence, in various verticals, meaning various businesses, activities, operations, research, education, health, you name it, they talking about AI, right? Now, the thing about AI is that if you don't really have a rudimentary understanding of artificial intelligence, we have a tendency to think about AI from the standpoint of what we see in the movies with iRobot and the Matrix and all of these things that talk about machines taking over and doing things that humans can't do because they can do it faster, and all of these things that give people a very threatening way of looking at artificial intelligence and robotics, not realizing that we've been dealing with artificial intelligence for quite some time now. When you Google, that's a form of artificial intelligence. When you talk to Siri or Alexa, that's a form of artificial intelligence known as natural language, utilizing natural language processing, which means you can literally talk to the computer. And because computers, they actually communicate in what they call binary code, which is zeros and ones. The fact that you can talk to it or type, it understands what you're saying, right? So let's go back a little bit. So when we talk about artificial intelligence pretty much by definition is that machines actually mimic what human beings can do in such a way that it seems as though, or they're actually doing things that usually require human intelligence, right? And that's pretty much any task as it relates to going out and capturing information for you. They have what they call weak AI, is the example of a Google. You put in location you're looking for, and it goes out and captures that information. And that's basically because artificial intelligence has gotten to the point based on algorithms, and algorithms are merely this. A lot of people wonder, well, what's the algorithm? The algorithm is the instructions and the step by step instructions that are given to a computer software so that it can complete a particular task. something that you're required to do, that the developer or the programmer programs it to do, right? So that's what an algorithm is. Now, when we think of algorithms, usually most people are thinking of algorithms from the perspective of the algorithm of YouTube, the algorithm of Instagram, the algorithm of TikTok, all of these things. So, algorithms in that sense is just the means by which the the social media platform that you're on, that you're engaging with, actually tracks what you're doing and then predicts what it is you may be interested in. That's why, for instance, example, when you're on Facebook and you talk about a particular subject, you ever notice it seems like now all of a sudden, whatever that subject you was talking about, now all of a sudden you see things associated with that subject being put in front of you.
Right.
That's Facebook's algorithm, right? And the best example I can give you is for those of you who are Amazon Prime members, for instance, right? If you're an Amazon Prime member and you order a book or you order a movie or you order something, and then what comes up in the algorithm, now Amazon will say people or customers who bought this also bought this. That's the algorithm putting in front of you what it is that's associated with what you just bought. And that was programmed into the Amazon software that if you buy a particular thing, program it, the algorithm, the step-by-step instructions, the computer software was given to put something in front of you. So what I really do with artificial intelligence is I demystify what's really going on, because in my class I teach you what artificial intelligence is and I teach you what it also is not. So when you know what artificial intelligence is and you know what it's not, meaning you understand its limited capability, because it's not like a sentient being like we are. Like we have a soul and a means by which the way our brains operate, we can utilize our imaginations to create anything that we can conceptualize by using the tools around us and the materials around us. Actually, artificial intelligence cannot do that to the degree that we can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is an aspect of artificial intelligence called machine learning. And machine learning is just giving the software a whole lot of data.
Mm-hmm.
And from that data, it can predict various activity, it can predict various things that it does, which comes across as though it's learning and actually exercising the ability to think. In reality, it's just exercising a lot of information and predictively analyzing that information, then coming up with solutions for various problems that have been programmed with, right? And then you got machine learning, so that the computer can predictively do some things based on the data. And then you have deep learning, which deep learning is just that the computer software has accessibility to a whole bunch of nodes. Like in our brains has what you call neurons, and those neurons store information, and those electronic impulses allow us to take previous past experiences, put them together in some way to do something. And so deep learning on an elementary level is pretty much that. It's the computer software being set up to access a whole bunch of nodes, and those nodes are called neurons. But what those nodes are a lot of different computers in different places all around the world that the software is accessing that information. So by it having such a plethora of information to access, then it predicts certain things. So you got artificial intelligence, you got machine learning as a subset, and then you have deep learning. And then you have different aspects of the tasks that the computer software can complete. Like when you talk about facial recognition, like you can program your face in your phone. It looks at it, takes a picture of your face basically, and now your face, because of the uniqueness of it, the computer sees that as facial recognition, right? Same thing with your voice. Your voice has a uniqueness to it. So then you got voice recognition, facial recognition, and then you have autonomous cars, for instance. That's as a result of artificial intelligence and all these cameras being able to see what's around the car so it doesn't run into anything, right? It can park itself, it can do all these things. And all these things are as a result of the algorithms, the step by step instructions that can be a combination of things. Language, natural language processing, speech recognition, facial recognition. All these are different aspects of algorithm instruction that's given to the software so that it can do various things. And this goes way back to the earliest 20th century,
So,
which you'll learn all about that in the class.
so my question is, what got you into AI and ChatGPT, and what made you want to share and start a class?
Okay, what got me into it? As you know, or may not know, I am an actor. I am a producer, a cinema director, an author, and basically an entrepreneur, a business person. Because all of these things I approach from the perspective of business and how can I utilize these skills in order to provide value to other people, which in turn gets me paid, right? So, for instance, as an actor, I've been in the business now for almost 20 years, and I've been on TV programs, I've been in movies, I've been on sets, and I've been on stage. So, there are certain skills that you acquire in understanding how to actually exercise the craft that allow you to be effective in your performance, right? So within that performance, there are certain things that I learned from my teachers that I've been passing on and teaching others for the last 14 years. And so that's the value that I give to aspiring and actors who have been in the business for a while. And I teach them from the perspective of the authenticity of my experience, not just from what I heard or what I read. So since I've been on stage, since I've been on TV, since I've done movies, then I just teach them the various things that I've um, been blessed to be successful in. And it's not the success to me is not me being a big star or me being making a whole lot of money, but it's understanding how to give an authentic performance within the project that I'm in, whether that's stage, film, or TV. And that in and of itself is a skill. So I teach others that skill, and in return for teaching them the skill, they pay me, they give me compensation, right? So I look at it from both the business and the craft. So what happened was, oh, let me say this and qualify this first. Before I became an actor, because I didn't start acting and getting into entertainment and all that till I was 50. Prior to that, I was a major accounts executive for several technology companies selling products, services, and solutions to Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 companies, and then to government, local, and federal government agencies. So I'm always looking at it from the standpoint of business and doing business and creating value and solving problems for other people because I learned a long time ago in my 20s that if you can solve enough problems from other for other people, then you can make money by solving those problems because that's what businesses are really about. Every successful business is as a result of that business's capacity and ability to solve some type of issue, some type of problem, or provide some type of product or service that that provides value to people in some way based on the value they want. They looking to try to do something or they looking to try to make something happen. And if you can identify that service or product that does that for people who need that done for them, then you can make money, right? So now let's talk about how I got into the artificial intelligence. It's because within the film industry, I am also an executive with a streaming platform. Being an executive with a streaming platform, African Diaspora Network TV, yes, we provide programming, film and television programming, but we're also a company that we created or provide the content via the internet, right? And via the internet, meaning on Amazon, Apple TV, Roku, our application, our app, if you will, is available on iPhones and on Android. So that's how we deliver content. And as a company, there's a lot of technological um, applications that we have to use in order to deliver our service. So, being the case, and looking at it from an entrepreneurial business standpoint, when we look at the industry, period, and we look at the movement in the industry, I happen to notice that all these companies within entertainment and without entertainment were beginning to use artificial intelligence as a means to improve their operations, improve their ability to market, improve their ability to sales, improve their ability to interact with their customers. And this just comes from reading and understanding. So in OpenAI, the company that introduced ChatGPT, which is a what we refer to as a large language model, meaning that now you can communicate with the software to get the software to do things you needed to do without having to know about coding. And coding is what developers do when they code algorithms to give computer software instruction to do whatever it is they wanted to do. So OpenAI came up with ChatGPT, and that allowed for regular people like us to interface with the computer software and give it instructions to acquire information, right? So anytime you can access information at an incredible rate and then read and then use that information in any area of expertise that you like in order to increase your productivity, that's a win. And so OpenAI, which created ChatGPT, and then when I look at who OpenAI was ran by, who started it, who was on the board, you hear a lot about Sam Altman, who's the CEO or Chief Executive Officer of OpenAI, who does a lot of the interviews as it relates to the capability in the ways that ChatGPT improves productivity for people by its fantastic ability to acquire information. When it first came out, it was primarily about text. So when ChatGPT first hit the market, it could acquire text at an incredible speed, meaning you could acquire information you could talk to it by typing or speaking to it. Now we're at ChatGPT 4, which is revolutionizing the industry in the sense of being able to not only work with text typed in or speech, it also can do videos. I mean, it deals with text, it deals with images, and it deals with videos. So now you have an increased ability in whatever area that you're trying to impact to increase your productivity in and to create situations where whatever your business is, if you know how to prompt, and prompt engineering is when you know how to speak to and interface with ChatGPT, you can get some amazing things accomplished at an extraordinarily fast rate because its ability to access information. And as we all know, because the way we as human beings learn, we learn from reading, we learn from listening to people, and we learn from observation. And what ChatGPT is like, it's like having a really, really, really smart personal assistant that when you need to know about certain information or you need to do a certain level of analysis, it can acquire that information for you at an extremely fast rate. So that increases your productivity. And basically, that's what monetizing ChatGPT. When I teach you artificial intelligence, so you now have alleviated the anxiety of not understanding what it is. So now you're more comfortable when you got a sense of how something works. And then when you focus in on Chat GPT as a tool to access information, to create images, impact on videos, then you all of a sudden, in this day and time, as it relates to being able to create digital products, you have the ability to define for yourself an effective marketing strategy. And in any area that you're interested in that's available, as far as the plethora of information on the internet and publications that have been published and put away in a digital format somewhere, ChatGPT can go out and access that information that you use to do tasks that you want to do. So all of a sudden now,
Yes.
you're a better writer. You're better because of the grammatical correctness of the information that you're engaging with. You write better, you read more, you understand more, and your vocabulary expands. So there's all these things that happen to you by your interacting and engage with ChatGPT beyond what you specifically wanted to do for you.
All right, Adiyb. So we're going to hold that thought and go to a quick commercial. I hope you guys learned a lot so far and just, are intrigued to take the class. Now, if you're interested in taking Adiyb's AI and ChatGPT class, you can call him at 802-4642, and you can book a class. The class I give in 2 days, so it's a 2-part class. And trust me, I took the class and I learned a lot. I've been using it ever since I took the class. I even purchased the upgrade where I'm able to create book covers because I'm also a book author as well. And also check out Adiyb's book, new book that he has out as well. And you can get all that information inside of our magazines on MediaGroupGenX.com. That's MediaGroupGenX.com. So we're going to be talking about a upcoming bus tour we got coming up. So if you have a restaurant, a wine and dine with our magazine, it's called Wine and Dine Restaurant and Travel Magazine. So we would love to have you a part of our Yelp bus tour, and you can join our swag bag or become a sponsor, or most importantly, become a stop. The bus carries anywhere up to 52 people, so we would love to bring people to your restaurant, try samples, and also, those Yelpers are very important people. They are the ones who really support and give good reviews. So if you want to join the Yelp bus tour for our Wine and Dine Restaurant and Travel Magazine edition coming up, please give me a call at 617-564-1196. Again, that's 617-564-1196. And again, we're going to go to my DMV vendors directory magazine, and we're going to play a song by Royal Heights, the famous Royal Heights, who just passed, and we want to give him a shout out. So here it is. This is the DMV directory. So if you are a vendor in the DMV area, this is a great magazine you can advertise in. This is our wanted directory categories that we're looking for. So if you're a car dealer, accountant, you do meal prep, signage, marketing, media, all here for you to advertise. Don't forget about our pastry bar donuts. You can always do a donut party. Think of something creative and throw a donut party today. Thinking about losing weight? Then visit the Vitamin Sweet Store. And again, the top 5 benefits of vending. That's a great article as well. And for those who are looking forward to tone up, you can check out fit exercise gear available online at nolabels.live. And here's Rose Black Lives Matter song.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Until men and women are judged only for the content of their character and not the color of their skin, the world is going to have big problems. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. It should be obvious to you by now. The world has got to change some way, somehow. This problem's gotten way out of hand. Everybody's on edge. Now we've got to take a stand because lives matter. Lives matter. Do you hear what I'm saying? I said lives matter. Listen to the people pray. I said lives matter. Too many of those sworn to protect and serve are serving up death.
So thank you guys for tuning in to today's Focus for Crystal. And again, that's on our media group, our website, mediumgroupgenx.com. And that's our vendors directory. If you guys are interested in being a part of the magazine, we would love to have you. Again, we can play your music videos. We can play live videos, any movie trailers that you might have as well. We can definitely play that too. So we're going to get Adiyb back on, and we're going to pull up his movie trailer soon. All right, Adiyb.
You mean my book? You mean my book trailer?
I keep calling it a movie because it looks.
I know it looks so good. I know.
It looks really good. Like, it is amazing how good that thing looks. I'm like,
well, you know, you're dealing with a filmmaker. What you expect?
Yes, you got to go on with that. I was like, this man, what did he do? I'm like looking at it like, when the movie coming out? He's like, no, it's my book. I'm like, well, tell people about your book and you know, what made you write your book and what it's all about.
Okay. Actually, a dialectical journey, overcoming the traps of a limited life, is what I call the first part of my autobiography. Right. So when you look at, I'm a native Washingtonian. I'm a Vietnam era veteran. I'm 68 years old, be 69 in a couple of weeks. And I'm grateful to have lived this long and seen what I've seen, particularly being a native Washingtonian and growing up here in DC and the DMV. I've lived in DC most of my life, but then I moved to Virginia for a minute. I've lived in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So I got a pretty good handle on what goes on in the DMV, right? So by me accomplishing some of the things that people give me accolades for, which I personally look at as par for the course. And what I mean by that is, man, as a young Black man growing up in DC, particularly during the height of the civil rights in the 60s, because I was born in 55. So during the period of time that Martin Luther King was killed, during the period of time, I was aware of Malcolm, I was aware of Martin Luther King, I was aware even John F. Kennedy when he got assassinated, because when I came home from school and I was young, my mother was sitting at the table crying. She had came home from work early or whatever. And I didn't understand why she was crying when Kennedy got shot. I was a little kid, right? But when Martin Luther King was assassinated, I was 14 years old. So I was very much aware of what he brought to the nation in terms of the whole March on Washington thing. And so basically, in a nutshell, just to cut to the chase, a dialectical journey overcoming the traps of a limited life is my autobiography. And I call it the first part because I plan to write about things that have happened since I completed this book that'll contribute to maybe an even deeper, clearer understanding of who I am and how I've been able to do the things I've done. I'm hoping that my book is a inspiration to people who are going through various challenges, because believe me, my early life was not without challenge, for everything from when I was in the military, being subjected to racism and discrimination, and just growing up in DC at a time where the cops, I mean, I've been beat up by the police. I mean, it's a lot that have happened in my life early on that I like to think I overcame. And I must admit, this book took me like about 11 months to write, because I kept going back and forth. But what inspired me to write my autobiography in the first place was I am a Vietnam era veteran who happens to go through PTSD therapy. post-traumatic stress syndrome, right? Disorder. So as part of one of the ways in which my therapy, um, how I was, how I participated in my therapy beyond the individual and the group therapy was during my individual therapy, meaning one-on-one with the psychologist or whatever. Um, I went through a process called cognitive processing therapy, where you primarily write about those things that have happened in your life that in some way inhibit your present, right? And you learn to reframe those circumstances and situations. And when you reframe it, you reframe the way you look at it. So as opposed to it being a hindrance to you by you constantly reflecting on the negative aspect of that experience, you reframe it and you identify within those circumstances what made your character stronger, what you overcame, and how it is that you do not allow what happened in the past to inhibit your present, which gives you the possibility of creating a brighter future. So I had somewhat on one level did that because of the things that I've accomplished, but how I was driven to accomplish had all to do with not so much my reframing my circumstances, but being driven by them to get deeper into personal and professional development. And so from that cognitive processing therapy and all the writing I did, I decided, well, let me write my autobiography. Maybe it can help some people. So that's where this book comes from. In 2016, I became a bestseller for a book that I contributed to, an anthology called Masters of Success, where entrepreneurs and professionals reveal their insights to mastering success in the areas of health, wealth, and lifestyle. And that book, believe it or not, became a bestseller. And then I got that designation, and that kind of helped in opening other doors. So, you know, I just I just try to identify what it is that I want to do, and then I think about who I need to become to be able to do those things that I want to do. And it has effectively worked for me over the last 10, 15 years.
So as you see, guys, I have his book up on Amazon where you can go purchase his book and read more about his amazing journey and his story, and hopefully it will inspire and uplift your life. So let's get ready to go into the actual, I want to say movie, the actual book trailer on YouTube. So give me 1 second to pull that up. It's like I said, it's very awesome to be in the presence of greatness. And I feel like Adiyb is definitely one of those individuals. And so this is his YouTube channel. So please go follow his YouTube channel. Adiyb55 is the tag. So it's at Adiyb55. You'll see his handsome picture there with many of his videos. So I'm going to click on the book here.
What life throws at us is not your choice. What you make out of it is entirely your choice. You can learn how to conquer your fears and overcoming the traps of life. But a true warrior is the one who conquers himself. When you reconnect with your warrior strength and wisdom, you tap into unlimited empowerment. Awaken your inner warrior, an autobiography born out of raw and real experiences. A book that teaches the most important life lessons. A book to help you build resilience in difficult times. A dialectical journey, overcoming the traps of a limited life. By Adiyb Muhammad. This is not an ordinary book. This is a guidebook. Experience the power of feeling strong, confident, and courageous. Now available to your favorite digital store. Buy today and get busy reading.
That is awesome, Adiyb.
If you're
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So I definitely want people to be supportive of of your book and what you got going on, especially with your AI. You just have so much knowledge and information that you can give. So not only do you have your AI classes, but you have your acting classes as well. Any events coming up, or anything you're doing that you want people to get involved with other than
Well,
purchasing your book and attending your classes?
okay. Well, I just finished this past weekend doing the inaugural Maryland Black Film Festival, which was fantastic. We by Kazar Coleman, who is one of my acting, directing, producing, and writing friends, who's a phenomenal entrepreneur in his own right. He executive produced the Maryland Black Film Festival, and the incredible people that I met there, including uh, they did a lifetime achievement award for Kathy Hughes, right?
Wow.
And so, unfortunately, Kathy Hughes was unavailable. So she sent Ebony out, who is, I believe, her chief of staff. And so, I mean, it was just some incredible people there. It was one film that won an award that Omarosa is one of the producers of that project. So I met Omarosa yesterday. Now, coming up, I have a few things coming up, which I'm gonna have to as soon as I confirm. One of the things that I did confirm for March the 30th, right? Now, I do my class every 2 weeks virtually, right? But now sometimes it's every week because a lot of people reach out to me. But I'm actually doing a class on Saturday, March the 30th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Prince George's Community College.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Right. So I'm bringing in, hopefully, I'm hoping that 100 businesses show up,
That's
right?
awesome.
100 people, because right now throughout the industry, AI is being applied in all of the major businesses, like from in the medical field. Like for instance, IBM has a AI application called Watson, and Watson has been helping diagnose patients by having an in-depth ability to analyze their medical records, and then within that analyzation of their medical records, it has been helping doctors diagnose problems and diagnose what it is that's going on with patients so that they can better treat the patients. And and it's happening so fast because it helps the doctor get to information and an analysis that may have usually taken them a few years to do. They're able to do it in a relatively short period of time.
That's awesome. And we
So,
definitely need that in our community. So yeah, I mean, AI and
mhm.
ChatGPT. So one thing that you taught me when I took your class that I felt was very important is how to ask AI questions. And
Prompting.
I find that you always be so nice and you say please. So I always
Uh-huh.
please. So AI would know that I'm a I try to be a decent person and not just be like commanding, like
That's funny that you should say that, but that's just that's just how I treat AI, because there's an aspect of artificial intelligence, particularly when you engage with it, that's called training,
Mhm.
right? And you can pretty much, with your chat GPT, once you have it, the more you engage with it, and it begins to get an understanding of your style of communicating with it,
Oh, awesome.
right? So
Yes.
that's why I talk to it that way. Like if I'm talking to a person, when I
Right.
prompt, I'd be like, please, I'll say, well, good morning. Or if I'm talking about one thing and I want to switch the subject, sometimes I'll say, okay, I'll prompt in or say, okay, so I want to change the subject now. And then it'll say something like, no problem. What would you like to do? So it's like I find it just fun to interact with it that way. So
Yeah.
it makes the work fun for me when I'm engaged with it, because I use ChatGPT. I'm giving you an example of one of the recent uses. I am the vice president of the board of the Actor Center in DC, which is a primary resource, nonprofit organization that's a resource to people in the industry, actors, writers, producers of film and television, etc. And as a nonprofit, and a board member, I have a fiduciary responsibility to the organization, meaning to in any way I can bring the capacity or the ability to make money to the organization, I do that. So one of the things I thought about was, okay, I'm very experienced in putting on theatrical productions and plays. So I used ChatGPT to create a 15 chapter book called Behind the Curtain, a Theatrical Journey.
Wow.
So when I put the prompt in talking about what I wanted to give me as a result, I kept drilling down and I ended up with a 15 chapter book, right? And so I created all of that in less than 5 minutes. So then it's just a question. Now I've created the entire book in less than 5 minutes. So now it's just me incorporating my personal experience into the lessons that are learned based on the format of the book. So whereas it would have taken me 6 months, maybe even a year or more to create what I was able to create fundamentally formatted with ChatGPT, and now it's just me doing the book cover, the back of the book, the ISBN number, and interjecting my personal experiences into the lessons. So it's a wonderful thing to me. I'm like, it would have taken me at least a year maybe to create that kind of book, and I was able to create the foundation of it in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because like I used it to create a book cover for my coloring book called Are You a Dog?
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I had some challenges. I was like, what's going on? Because I didn't realize once you upgrade, what upgrading allows you to do is have access to so many different options. Like you can go through Canva, you can go through these different things.
Oh, go ahead, girl. You learned something in my class, huh?
I did. Make your images. And I'm like, wait a minute, all this stuff going on. So you really do have to spend time with ChatGPT to actually learn about it, to get that grip that you're looking for, because it's a lot of different options once you upgrade. Mm-hmm. And the awesome thing about it is the communication is like, they even when you was telling me you got to put like certain things, it'll say, okay, so you want to have color, what do you want this image to do? Like you got to be a little bit more specific.
Yeah, as long as specificity in the prompt is the key. Knowing how to prompt is the key. Because once you know that, then it becomes like, I've been doing it so long now, it's easy for me. And there's a new next level.
Whoa.
So you'll learn about that in the class, because now you can customize ChatGPT for a specific way that you run your business.
That's awesome.
And you can give it your information and it'll give you a customizable output. And that's incredibly valuable.
It is valuable. I really feel like it's a game changer on so many levels.
Oh, it is.
Because you're able to, like you said, get a lot of stuff done that would take you months, years, or maybe, hours in like few minutes. Like somebody said to me, I'm gonna do a press release. I'm like, girl, I could do a press release in 3 minutes. What are you talking about? Like it used to take a while, and you had to really come up with some thoughts, and even then, your wording could be a little bit off. But with ChatGPT, and I find out with some of these AI apps that you can really just narrow it down and make it sound more cleaner, more professional, and even more like when far as advertisement, you can really get that thing to sound like a professional advertising company did the work.
That's
and that's
right.
Amazing, because now the playing field is kind of level now. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got to go hire somebody to come up with a theme or come up with a song or come up with the title. Or AI kind of does all of that. Like, now you're giving me some thoughts, because I'm like, I need some theme music for my show.
So one of the things that I really want to encourage people to understand, whether you study AI with me or you go to school, get certified, whatever you're going to do, understand this. AI is not the future. AI is now.
It's now.
Right?
It is
and Forbes, an article in Forbes said by 2030. Now we in 2024. So 2030 is only 6 years from now. Right? So that's 72 months for those of you who look at months. 6 years is 72 months. And 72 months from now, Forbes predicts that AI will add an additional $15.7 trillion to the economy.
What?
Right?
I'm in.
So what you have now, because of that, if you pay attention, a lot of the colleges now are offering AI certifications, because when you understand AI, you understand machine learning, deep learning, and how to apply artificial intelligence into a business's operations, you now all of a sudden become valuable to every business that does not understand how to utilize AI to improve their operations. And my class is just fundamentally an introductory. But what I'm planning on doing is there's a $150 investment for the 2 days, but then a $99 a month membership, so that as AI begins to proliferate and as I begin to become more proficient and know more and bring in people that can teach you different levels, then you have accessibility to that. Because my class, you have accessibility because I record the classes, you have accessibility to the recordings. I also provide you a PDF going over fundamental information that we already covered. And then that way, you always have accessibility to be able to go back and reflect on, study, and maybe in some instances follow step by step what you need to do to implement. So, I mean, that's bringing a lot of value to you, because you're literally paying $150 for 2 days that when you come out of the second day, you can literally begin to make thousands, potentially millions.
That is awesome. So give the people three.
Oh, you went away. I don't hear you.
Oh, okay. How about now?
I hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, great. So give the people 3 good reasons why they should attend your class, your AI and ChatGPT class.
Well, the number one reason is because you would learn specifically from me and how I've been able to use it. Number 2, you'll have accessibility to my network of technical people who I bring in occasionally to help give you increased clarity. And number 3, I mean, where else are you going to only pay $150? Because when I look at everybody that's teaching, they charging thousands of dollars. I was told the other day in a meeting that my 2-day class, based on what I teach, all about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, algorithms, large language models, all the things that I show you, I should be charging $5,000 for. And I let them know that I might go up a little bit, but I would just want to make AI clarity as available to my people as I possibly can, because it's really, from my perspective, not about the money. It's about empowering my people to be able to become a better version of themselves and their ability to create financial stability for themselves.
Yes.
That's really what I'm about.
Because as long as you got this, and we all have this now, this smartphone, we all have smartphones now. You can do it right from your phone.
Oh yeah, I have ChatGPT on my phone as well.
Yes, me too. I got the app. So it's just awesome that, at the tip of your fingertips now, you can do that job resume. Because one thing about resumes, that used to be a huge thing, especially in our community in reference to resume writing. And they had classes, workshops, especially for people returning home. Mm-hmm. So now you can actually sit with ChatGPT and put down your skills. It's not about, if you've been locked up for the last, unfortunately, if you was incarcerated for 8 years, 5 years, and you haven't worked, but you did do some work in your lifetime, you can, even if that was mowing the lady's grass next door, even if that was, shoveling snow for somebody, those are skills. That's the service that you did, whether you got paid or not. You still did that service. So if you put that in ChatGPT, it can create a resume based off the skills and the things that you've done and help you get a job. So that is the awesome power of ChatGPT. We no longer have to go to the old form of resumes. We no longer have to sweep what we've done under the rug. We can put everything that we've done out there and let this system create a resume based on our skills and our time. Because some resumes you don't even have to put a time frame, especially if you've been incarcerated. The point is, you're a returning citizen. You're trying to get back into the workforce. These are the skills that you have done. These are the things that you know how to do. And ChatGPT can help format that for you in a way that you can be able to obtain a job.
You know, it's so wonderful that you mentioned that, because one of the things I'm doing, I'm working with veterans who are making the transition out of the military into civilian life, whether they want a job or whether they want to start businesses. And I'm working with another organization that we're about to provide the same service to returning citizens. So you're right on point, because you can use the technological tool of AI, ChatGPT, for resumes, for analysis, for research. You can pretty much use it to do anything having to do with language, writing, images, and videos in order to put yourself out there or improve your personal and professional development.
That's awesome. I'm so excited that you are offering this class. When I heard about it, I was like, what? He doing an AI class and ChatGPT? Because everybody was telling me, girl, you need to get on ChatGPT. Girl, you still doing all that hard work yourself. Girl, you don't know what you missing. And girl, I said, you know what? Even my dude, he was like, you need to do ChatGPT. And I was like, I went on the website on my desktop and it just wouldn't allow me to come in. So then I got on my Apple computer, my laptop, and I was able to go in and I was like, let me see what this is all about. Because at first I was like, man, forget that. I'm not about to sign up for this. This is just something that's being overrated, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't have that much stigma to it. So I said, well,
no.
And then when I saw Adiyb say he teaching class, I said, oh, wait a minute now. This must be something, because he don't do anything. He's not the type of person who's going to waste his time. So I said, well, maybe this is something I need to look into. So I talked to him first prior to joining the class, just to get some clarity, because like I said, I was skeptical. And then, he was like, Crystal, just come on in, join the class. So, I did that. I supported. I joined the class. And I haven't looked back since. And I understand what everybody was talking about. Now I get it. You know what I'm saying? And now, being that I work it myself, I understand how important it is to get things done on a quicker base, especially when it comes to doing my interviews, when it comes to doing my sometimes my essays. Like, it just depends on what you wanted to do. It can do it. So there's really no more excuse now. Like, you literally can do and be anything you want to be now. So it's just about, basically just putting forth the effort. I mean, as long as they have libraries that have the computers, if you don't own a library at home, you can go use, a computer at home. You can go to the library. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the awesome thing. Like, you don't have to just go to the library no more and get an encyclopedia, sit there and go after page after page. You can go in already with your mind focused on what you want to do. And you can go to this app and you can find out about it. And if you join classes like Adiyb has, that will actually help you walk through the understanding and the knowledge of using it, it'll make it easier for you to get through it and how to learn it, so you can quickly start to, like he said, monetize off ChatGPT. And people might be like, well, what do you mean by monetize? Well, make money, because time is what? Money. So if you can cut your work in half of the time it would take you to do it, now you have made that money much quicker and you can move on to the next thing. And that's what I really like about it. It gives you that time span that's like, okay, what it would take me 30 minutes or an hour to come up with something to write, I can just give ChatGPT a few of my thoughts and they can form what I could have did in an hour within 30 seconds. So it cuts your productivity really.
It increases your productivity 1,000-fold.
Yes, it does. So it's amazing. So we're going to go to a quick commercial real quick. We got about 3 minutes left, and then I'm going to let Adiyb give his closing statements.
Well, I'm going to have to, I got 2 minutes before I'll be in this other meeting I got at 2:00.
Okay, so I'm really getting ready to just go back over your book so people can support your book and go on Amazon and purchase your book real quick. So that is a way that you can support Adiyb and learn more about him. Again, it's on Amazon for $20. What's on Amazon for? It doesn't show. But you guys can go look at it yourself and find out exactly.
$19.95.
It's on there for $19.95. You heard it from the horse's mouth. $19.95. So if you want to go ahead and give us some closing remarks real quick before I go into my commercial break, which we only have 1 minute left anyway. So I wanted to thank my sponsors, True Leaf, which is a cannabis dispensary. They're going to be sponsoring our upcoming bus tour, our 420 bus tour. So check them out, trueleaf.com. They have some great products as well. And then we want to also support, thank our sponsors at Elevate Wellness Center as well, which is going to be the lounge that we're going to stop at during our cannabis bus tour. So I hope you guys really support and participate in that. It's a great opportunity to learn about cannabis, what it has to offer, what it does. Even if you're not into smoking and you like, okay, what about the pain pill? What's the pain medicine all about? It'll give you some information. It's an educational bus tour. You also get free goodies to take home to try out. And it's actually going to go down April the 28th. It's the kickoff, and it's going to be once a month every Sunday at the end of the month. And so you get a lot of stuff. We're going to do an educational bus tour of local dispensaries, live entertainment, sing-alongs, spoken words, all surrounding 420 themes, swag bags filled with goodies, free pre-roll, sponsored by True Leaf Dispensary, a tour wrap-up party with picnic style and social with sampling local foods and flavors, a DIY donut party, and book signing. So if you have a book and you would like to come and do a book signing, this would be a great opportunity. And the book signing all will be at the Elevated Wellness Solution Wellness Center Lodge and Patio in Baltimore, Maryland. There we'll be able to eat and consume and learn more about cannabis. Again, if you guys want tickets, you can go on Eventbrite for the tickets. It's just $25 per person for the tour bus tickets. Vendors and sponsorship opportunities are available. And again, we would like to thank our sponsors and shout out to the Newsom Kingdom Kings and Queen family. Thank you guys. And thank you, Adiyb, for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Yes. I look forward to seeing your audience can reach out to me if they got any additional questions at adiyb@adiybmuhammad.com.
All right, guys, y'all heard that. That's adiybmuhammad.com. And I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys were amazing. And again, if you want to do the show, call 202. If you want to do the AI and ChatGPT class, call to book 202-802-4642 and ask for Adiyb.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Enjoy your day. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.